In the heart of the city stood La Bella Vita, a place where elegance met fear. The chandeliers sparkled, the food was divine, but a dark tension filled the air each evening. The staff whispered, hands trembled, and glances darted nervously toward the door. They weren't afraid of the customers. They were afraid of one man, the man who turned fine dining into a nightmare. Mr. Carlton Blake. Billionaire. Real estate mogul. A man feared more than respected. Every night, he arrived in style, tailored suits, bodyguards at his side, and a scowl that silenced rooms. He treated people like they were beneath him, barking orders, throwing tantrums, and snapping his fingers to command attention. "Do you know who I am?" echoed through the room like a warning shot. To him, people weren't people. They were tools. And tonight, he was in no mood for mercy. But this night, someone, was different. Sophie, a new waitress on her first shift, stepped onto the floor with calm eyes and quiet confidence. She wasn't here to play games. She needed this job. Her mother's medical bills piled up at home. But what she didn't know yet was that she was about to walk straight into a storm and become the eye of it. Sophie approached Mr. Blake's table with a polite smile. "Good evening, sir. May I take your order?" Blake looked her up and down with contempt. Then, he flung the menu at her feet. "You? They sent you? What are you, 12? I don't get served by amateurs." His voice thundered across the restaurant. Staff froze. Guests shifted uncomfortably. But Sophie stood her ground. And then, something no one expected happened. Sophie's eyes narrowed. She slammed her notepad on the table and shouted back. Loud, clear, and fierce. "Enough! You think you can treat people like garbage because you're rich? You walk in here and humiliate people every night, like a child throwing tantrums. You're not powerful. You're pathetic." The room gasped. A glass clinked to the floor. And in that moment, the silence was deafening. Blake shot up, his face red with rage, veins bulging. "You're done. I'll have you fired. I own this place." Sophie shouted back louder. "Do it. I'd rather scrub floors than serve a bully like you." Guests were on their feet. Phones out. Some shouted, "Leave her alone." Bodyguards moved. Chairs toppled. The restaurant became a battleground of words and power. Chaos reigned, and Sophie stood at its center, unshaken. Amid the uproar, the manager, Mr. Jenkins, rushed in, his voice trembling. "Please, everyone, calm down." He turned to Blake. "Sir, please. This has gone too far." But Blake didn't answer. He was staring at Sophie, breathing heavily, the crowd's eyes burning into him. His reign of fear was cracking. Then, a silence fell. Blake sank into his chair, shoulders heavy. "My wife died last year. We used to eat here every week. This was our place," he murmured. "Since she passed, I've been lost. Angry. I took it out on everyone else." Tears welled in his eyes. "I became someone she wouldn't even recognize." For the first time, the billionaire bully looked human and vulnerable. Sophie took a breath. Her voice softened. "Then change. Be better. For her, for yourself." Blake stood, extended his hand, and said something no one expected. "I'm sorry. To the staff. To the guests. To Sophie." He promised to make it right, and he did. Donations, scholarships, public apologies. Respect replaced fear. And Sophie. She didn't just serve tables, she served justice. Weeks later, Blake returned, not with bodyguards, but with humility. He smiled at the staff, thanked the chefs, and sat quietly. Sophie now walked the floor with pride. The restaurant was peaceful, filled with warmth, not fear. One voice, brave, loud, and fearless, had changed everything.